Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a demo and review of the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. This is what the foundation looks like. It is in a glass packaging with a plastic cap, and it does have a pump, so I know we are all excited about that. Although this foundation was just recently launched, Maybelline used to have a Superstay foundation long ago, but they discontinued it. So when I saw Maybelline's announcement that they were releasing this foundation, I was very excited. However, it is very hard to find right now. I do live in Ohio, and this foundation I could not find in any stores at all, so I had to order it off of the Ulta website. I looked on a bunch of other websites for drugstores, and the only other drugstore that I could find this foundation is CVS, but all of their shades were sold out. This does retail for $11.99 on the Maybelline website and Ulta's website. You could possibly find it cheaper at places like Target or Walmart once they do carry the foundation. I think the foundation has a pretty good shade range for being drugstore. It has a total of 16 shades. So the shade that I picked up is 128 Warm Nude. I will read you the claims of this foundation on the Maybelline website. This foundation claims to be 24-hour wear. It is full coverage, yet it's lightweight. It says that it doesn't fade or shift all day long when you're wearing it. It's oil-free, it doesn't clog pores, and it's dermatologist tested. So I don't know about you guys, but that description of a foundation is exactly what I'm looking for. I typically like to wear full coverage foundations. The only time I will wear a foundation that's not full coverage is if it's in the summertime, but right now my skin's breaking out, my skin is dry, my skin just has tons of concerns, so I like to wear full coverage foundations, especially in the winter time. I will leave time references down below in case you guys are interested, so don't forget to check those out. Also, if you guys aren't already, don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave. Hit that bell button down below, that way you are notified for every video that I upload in the future. If you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts and how this foundation applies on the skin, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to be applying the shade 128 Warm Nude in the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. For it claiming to be full coverage, I'm assuming it's going to be more on the matte side. With those types of foundations, I normally like to use a smoothing primer. I apply primers with all of my foundations, and I want to give this foundation a fair shot. So I already applied the Smooth Complexion Primer from Urban Decay. So I'm going to be applying foundation with a beauty sponge on one side of my face and the Morphe M439 brush on the other side. So with every single one of my foundations, I always put a pump or two on the back of my hand, and I like to evenly spread the foundation across my face to give a more even application. So right off the bat, I think the color is very good. I think it's a nice light to medium warm tone foundation. Alright, so I'm going to blend that out with my beauty sponge. I will say that I feel like you have to work quickly with this foundation. It already felt a little dry applying it on my skin. I do have a relatively large blemish right here on my chin, and I still see it peeking through, so I'm going to take a little bit more and apply it right on top to see if I'm able to layer this foundation. I'm not a fan of applying 2 coats of foundation. I think that's a little bit excessive, but I do believe in taking maybe a little bit more foundation and covering up these spots that you need extra coverage. So I think that patting it out with my finger did help to cover the blemish a little bit more. I can still see it, but I really think that's as good as we're gonna get. I don't notice an immediate scent with the foundation, so that's always a good thing. Now I am going to do the same thing with the application on the right side of my face, but blend it out with a brush. I think I accidentally applied a little bit more on this side, but that's okay. So weirdly enough, I think I actually prefer the side that I blended out with a brush over the side that I blended out with the Beauty Blender. I feel like the brush gave a more flawless application. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I feel like this side of my face looks more flawless than this side. This is a little bit unusual for me because normally I prefer to blend out my foundations with a beauty sponge, but I really do like the way that the Morphe M439 blended out this foundation, and again, it dried really quickly, so maybe instead of applying the foundation to half your face and working with it, maybe just go by section. So apply the foundation to your cheek, blend that out, apply it to your forehead, blend that out, and I think that you would get a really flawless application. So I do believe the claim that this foundation is indeed full coverage. It did dry down matte. It's not tacky at all, so I will not set this foundation. I do, however, think that the foundation is clinging a little bit to the dry patches. So if you have dry patches on your skin, I would say maybe use a hydrating primer instead of a smoothing primer. Right now it is 11:30 in the morning when the foundation itself is completely applied. So right now I am going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Alright guys, so it is just about to be noon and my makeup is complete. I did not set this foundation, and all of the face products like my bronzer, my blush, my highlight, all applied very evenly. It did not skip. None of them were patchy or anything like that. So I do think that this foundation works very well with other face products. So the description of the foundation did not mention the finish that it's supposed to have. I think that this foundation is 100% a matte foundation. It doesn't claim to be matte, but maybe because my skin is a little bit on the drier side, it does pull more matte on my skin. Normally I am combination skin, but my skin has been a little bit on the drier side. It has been a little bit more dehydrated. So right now I do think that the foundation does have a matte finish. This foundation is 100% full coverage. I have a blemish on my chin that you guys probably wouldn't have known if you didn't see it in the demo of the application or if I didn't just tell you, but I do think that it covered very well. I do have acne scars right now that the foundation covered effortlessly, and also it does feel very lightweight. I don't feel like my skin feels heavy at all. The foundation does feel very lightweight on the skin. I am going to try and update you guys along the 4-hour, 8-hour mark for me wearing this foundation. Again, I did finish applying it at 11:30. So if you guys are interested in seeing how this foundation wears throughout the day, then just stay tuned. Alright guys, so it's a little bit after 3 o'clock. I've had the foundation on for a little bit over 3.5 hours now. So right now, I think the foundation still looks really good. I do notice a little bit more of a sheen to my skin. I don't know if you can see on my forehead, but I just have more of a glow. It really doesn't look oily to me. I really don't mind the sheen to my skin. I think it actually looks very healthy. I'm a little bit worried just because it is only 3.5 hours in and I'm already starting to see a little bit more of a sheen, so it makes me wonder how my skin's going to look in a couple more hours. I think the foundation may be rubbing off of my blemish just a very teeny tiny bit, but I'm about to leave. I just wanted to update you guys real quick and I will see you guys when I get back. Alright guys, so I have officially been wearing the foundation for 8.5 hours now. I think this is going to be my final check-in. Overall, I think the foundation held up okay. It's definitely not the worst foundation that I have ever worn, but it's not the best either, and I'll tell you why. After 8.5 hours of wear, I do personally find my skin to look a little shiny. I don't know if I accidentally touched my forehead, but I do have little fingerprint marks right here and right here where the foundation rubbed off, and it's actually very obvious just because of where it's at and where my bronzer is. It did rub off a little bit on my chin. I can see a little bit of redness peeking through, and the foundation did dissolve a little bit over this dry blemish that I have on my skin. For my cheek products, I think that my cheeks still look really good. I think my contour, my blush, my highlight still all looks really good. I do see more emphasis on my smile lines right here, but it's not too noticeable. I want to remind you guys that I did not set this foundation with powder and I did not use a setting spray. Those two things could possibly help prolong this foundation, as well as the use of a mattifying primer if you are oily. I think that maybe if I did set the foundation in the areas where I typically get oily, like my forehead and my chin, I think that I would have had a little bit better of an outcome. But okay guys, that completes this video, demo, and wear test. I hope that you enjoyed it and hopefully it was helpful for you. Let me know if you decide to pick up this foundation, if you tried it out, what shade are you, if you like it, and what possibly made the foundation work for you. Please let me know down in the comment section, and that will also help other people here on the video as well to decide whether or not to pick up the foundation. If you aren't subscribed already, please do so and hit that bell button down below. That way you are notified every single time I upload a video. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.